I have quite literally spent years turning this into my dream LandCruiser. It's one of a kind, there's nothing else like it out there. The engine and cab have been swapped, the suspension is almost there, and I'm down to putting the final touches on the interior. But there's one thing controlling it all that just feels out of place now. Technology that was designed more than 25 years ago. So today, we're replacing the entire brains of this build to see if a modern ECU can transform a 1HD FTE, or whether it's just another expensive gimmick. So if you're new here, this didn't actually start life as just one car. This was originally a petrol 105 that had seen better days. And this was an imported HDJ 101 100 series LandCruiser imported by myself from Japan. And it had some issues too. So we pulled the legendary FTE out of the 100 series. We transplanted it into the 105 chassis along with the 4-speed auto that came with it. Then we went one step further and we swapped the import cab onto the 105 chassis. So now I've got the solid axles of the 105, I've got the pearl white paint, I've got the sunroof, I've got the heated seats and the factory fridge center console, along with a bunch of other really cool goodies that we didn't really get here in Australia. And mechanically, the hard work is done. But there is just one part of the build now that's still stuck in the 90s that needs to change. And that's the factory ECU and TCU. Now, you may or may not have seen a previous video that I did talking about the options, so if you haven't looked at that, I'm going to put a link here so that you guys can have a look at that first and see what I think is the better option. But I ended up deciding to go with the Boostec. So I guess the question is, why even change it? When Toyota built and developed the FTE, in my opinion, they absolutely hit the nail on the head. It made reasonably good power out of the factory with endless options to make more power. It was bulletproof in its reliability, and the fuel consumption was actually quite good. So for me, seeing the old electronics in it really seems like it sort of holds the engine back from its true potential, and I think it's the last piece to the puzzle mechanically to get this thing going as good as it should with all the mods that we've put onto it. There's some other more obvious issues that are due to the age of the car. There's things like the diagnostics are really basic and you can't really see anything that's going on with it. Any gauges you want to add will have to be done very manually, which for me is not ideal. And the transmission controller and its shifting strategy is really old world, and the 4-speed is not the smoothest box at the best of times, but I think it's really let down by that old school control. And I suppose the other challenge I had, and something that I didn't want to lose with the 100 series, is being able to retain things like cruise control, with this thing going to be getting a decent amount of touring time as we get it all ironed out and ready to go. So look, ultimately for me, I don't really care for an ECU that has hundreds of features. I don't really care for something that's too basic and not optimized in the way that it talks to the engine and transmission. All I care about is getting the most out of the mods that we've put into it and making the car as drivable as we possibly can. I'm interested in things like better engine control, better boost control is really important to me, being able to set injection and pump timing, the engine and the transmission talking to each other in the tune, being able to retain cruise control and getting some proper diagnostics and being able to have a proper readout of what's happening under the bonnet. And a typical thing for me, I want something that has future-proof built into it as well. There's a good chance that this 4-speed gearbox won't last. We'll go to something a little bit more suitable for daily driving and making the most of this engine. So I need something that's going to be ready to go when the time comes, so I'm not spending money multiple times. So I actually found the install really easy. They've got a great conversion loom, which is all plug and play, and this supports the ECU and the TCU. There's also an OBD2 converter, so you can put that plug in and you can have your scan gauge running. In terms of the ECU location itself, Boostec provide a brushed stainless steel bracket which replaces the existing ECU location and bolts in. And for the transmission side, at the other end under the driver's footwell, it piggybacks on to the old location of the stock transmission controller. So once that's all plugged in and set up ready to go, it's literally as simple as either getting one of the guys to come and plug in their laptop, get a bass tune in it to get it booted up, or they can even do it remotely, so you can be doing it literally anywhere in the world. Give them a call, they can plug in and get you set up. And one of the good things is, I know people are starting to use these more and more, so the more people that are setting these up, the more bass tunes they have with different lists of mods, so it should be really easy to get it all plugged in at home. Give them a call, they dial in a bass map, do a couple of laps, and you'll be ready to go. So let's see what it sounds like with this new ECU in place. Let's start this bad boy up. Oh, it hasn't been started in a little while. We've got a bit of soot. But man, it sounds crispy. I'll get a microphone there so you can have a listen. She's a bit sooty. I haven't started in a little while, but that sounds mad. It sounds really happy. It's also got a 5-map select, so we might roll it out of the unit here and I'll show you what different modes we've got. All right, we might try another map select mode. So this one's just a little bit of fun. It's like a TikTok mode. So we've got the lumpy idle and we've got a really gentle hard cut as well. I love it. It's so stupid, but man, it's fun. Alright, that's enough of that. Alright. It's a little bit wet out here today, so we won't hang around too long. Look, that sounds awesome to me. It could be the injectors that's making it sound a bit cleaner, but the car felt really good. The idle's nice and clean, the rev's nice and clean. It literally feels like it's idling better. So I guess all that's left to do now is take it for a drive. I'll show you guys the 5-map select and how it drives. Let's see how this drives. So straight away, that engagement of reverse popped in way tighter than what it normally would. Okay. Yeah, instantly I can feel, it feels like just a little bit more responsive than what it used to. I wouldn't say snappy, but definitely more responsive. Hey guys, so unfortunately the weather didn't really pay ball. I got a lot of the footage back from that drive and I wasn't happy with it. The rain was super noisy inside the car and you really can't drive it to its limits, especially on that 5th map in the rain. It's just a little bit too hectic. So I'm gonna leave that to a part 2 and we'll go through the features of the 5-map select. I'll show you how it works. I'll show you the tow mode. I should have the scan gauge all set up by then too, so we'll have that dialed in. So yeah, that's gonna do it for today. I really appreciate you guys hanging around to the end of this video. The Boostec is a cracking thing. I'm honestly so happy with it. So we'll get it dialed in, we'll get some real world stuff going, and I'll see you all on the next one.